Welcome to our channel. We are so glad you found your way here. Let us help you fall asleep. Let's begin with the Insula of Rome. Living in the shadow of the ancient tenement blocks, take a slow, deep breath in and release it. Let the noise of today fall away as we step back, not just hours or years, but centuries, into the vast theater of crime and punishment in ancient Rome. If you genuinely like our videos, please hit like and subscribe. Foundational to understanding this region is the evolution of its urban fabric, where layers of history unfold with each passing century. Initially, a modest settlement alongside the Tiber River, it burgeoned into a formidable city-state, characterized by its strategic location and geographic advantages. The transformation from a cluster of huts to a thriving metropolis occurred around the 8th century BCE as the influence of agriculture and trade catalyzed growth. The Republic, established in the 6th century BCE, set the stage for significant architectural and infrastructural advancements. Urban planning became more sophisticated with the introduction of public spaces, temples, and forums reflecting the aspirations of a burgeoning society. As expansion continued, the city's boundaries stretched, incorporating diverse populations and cultures, which contributed to its dynamic character. By the 1st century BCE, monumental structures emerged, including the Colosseum and the Pantheon, epitomizing the Roman commitment to engineering and artistry. This period witnessed the rise of the Insulae, multi-storied apartment buildings designed to accommodate the growing urban populace. These structures provided both shelter and community, albeit under conditions that varied widely in quality and stability. The seamless integration of these elements laid the groundwork for a complex society, where the remnants of daily life mingle with the echoes of monumental achievements. Topography played a significant role in shaping the urban layout of the ancient city. The undulating hills and valleys dictated not only the placement of structures, but also the movement of people and goods throughout the region. 7 prominent hills cradled the original settlement, providing natural fortifications and vantage points that influenced the development of the city. This geography facilitated both defense and trade, fostering a vibrant economy that thrived amid the challenges of terrain. In addition to the hills, the Tiber River served as a vital artery. It connected various parts of the city, allowing for the transport of goods and serving as a source of fresh water. The riverbanks hosted bustling markets, while the flow of water contributed to a unique rhythm of life. Urban planning reflected a balance between practicality and aesthetics, with public spaces interspersed among residential areas. During the expansion, the grid layout of streets emerged, accommodating the influx of inhabitants. This arrangement promoted accessibility and organization, enabling the efficient movement of people across the city. The juxtaposition of insulae and monumental architecture further illustrated the city's layered history. These features combined to create a dynamic environment where the complexities of daily life unfolded against the backdrop of Rome's enduring legacy. The insula, or apartment buildings, served as a defining characteristic of urban life in ancient Rome. These structures, often rising several stories high, accommodated the burgeoning population within the city's confines. Typically constructed of brick and concrete, they provided necessary housing for both the lower and middle classes. This architectural choice reflected the socio-economic stratification present in Roman society, illustrating the stark contrast between wealth and poverty. Residents of the insula often shared communal facilities, which fostered a sense of community amid the hustle of urban existence. Each building housed numerous families, creating a vibrant, albeit crowded, atmosphere. Access to basic amenities was limited, with many inhabitants relying on public baths and markets located nearby. The design of these tenements prioritized functionality over extravagance, showcasing the practical needs of the populace. Historically, insulae represent a crucial phase in the evolution of urban living. As Rome expanded, these structures adapted to the increasing demand for housing. The insulae not only fulfilled the immediate needs of the city's citizens, but also laid the groundwork for future urban planning and architectural development. Their enduring presence serves as a testament to the resilience of the Roman spirit, thriving in an environment where the ancient and modern worlds intersect. The development of insula marks a significant evolution in urban design, reflecting the needs of a growing population. Initially, these structures emerged as rudimentary shelter, developed from simple materials such as timber and mud brick. Gradually, they transformed into more intricate edifices, constructed with fired brick and concrete, showcasing the technological advancements of the era. This transition facilitated higher buildings, allowing for multiple stories, which optimized limited land space in the bustling city. As these urban blocks proliferated, their architectural layout evolved. The insula often featured narrow streets winding through densely packed living quarters. Each floor typically housed several apartments, fostering close-knit communities. The varying heights within this region offered a glimpse into the social hierarchy, as wealthier families occupied the more spacious and elevated units, while lower-income residents frequently resided in the uppermost levels, often without proper amenities. These structures, while efficient in accommodating large populations, were not without their challenges. Many insulae suffered from structural instability, leading to occasional collapses. Despite this vulnerability, they remained essential to urban life, serving as both homes and commercial spaces. The juxtaposition of these ancient tenements with the city's grandeur illustrates the complex dynamics of Roman life, where survival and adaptation were paramount amidst a backdrop of historical magnificence. Stone and brick formed the primary materials in the construction of insulae, reflecting the resources available in the region. The use of concrete allowed for the rapid building of multi-storied structures, often rising 4 to 6 stories high. These towering blocks were typically narrow, designed to accommodate the densely populated urban landscape. Limited space necessitated innovations in architecture, leading to the incorporation of common walls between units and shared courtyards that fostered a sense of community among residents. Windows, often small and strategically placed, served to maximize light while providing privacy. Terracotta tiles often adorned the roofs, designed to manage rainwater and reduce leaks. In many cases, the upper levels featured wooden balconies that extended outward, creating additional living space and allowing for social interaction among inhabitants. This architectural style not only catered to practicality, but also reflected the aesthetic values of Roman society. Internal layouts varied widely, with some units featuring basic amenities such as hearths for cooking and rudimentary plumbing systems. Walls were often plastered and painted in bright colors, providing a degree of visual appeal amid the stark realities of urban life. Each insula represented a microcosm of Roman society, where the interplay of materials and construction techniques showcased resilience and ingenuity amidst the pressures of a growing metropolis. The social hierarchy within Insulae revealed stark class distinctions, influencing the living conditions of inhabitants. Wealthier families occupied the lower floors, enjoying greater access to natural light and ventilation. These prime locations offered a certain degree of comfort and stability, with larger spaces and better amenities. In contrast, the upper floors, often reached by narrow staircases, housed the lower classes, including laborers and artisans. These cramped quarters, exposed to the elements and lacking basic conveniences, highlighted a significant disparity in quality of life. The structural integrity of these tenements was often compromised, resulting in a precarious existence for those residing above. Limited access to water sources and shared sanitation facilities exacerbated the challenges faced by inhabitants on higher levels. The atmosphere within these upper regions was marked by congestion and noise, a stark contrast to the relative calm of the lower floors. This stratification extended beyond mere physical space. Social interactions were influenced by location, with wealthier residents often isolating themselves from their less fortunate neighbors. The dynamics of community life shifted dramatically from one floor to another, each level representing a unique experience of Roman urbanity. These architectural elements reflected broader societal structures, encapsulating the complexities of class and survival in a bustling ancient world. The insulae served as essential living spaces for the urban poor, housing a significant portion of the population. These multi-storied structures, often constructed hastily and with limited resources, provided shelter for various families, craftsmen, and laborers. Life within their confines was marked by a stark contrast to the opulence experienced by the elite, with shared facilities and thin walls blurring the lines of privacy. And here, inhabitants navigated a labyrinth of narrow corridors and communal areas, creating a unique social fabric. This environment fostered a sense of community among residents, while also amplifying the challenges of daily existence. Access to water and sanitation was typically limited, resulting in unsanitary conditions that posed health risks. Despite these hardships, the insulae functioned as vital hubs of activity. Markets and workshops often thrived at their bases, with vendors capitalizing on the foot traffic generated by the dense population. The vibrancy of street life enveloped these structures as individuals engaged in commerce and social interactions, thereby enriching the cultural fabric of the city. The architectural design of Insulae reflected the priorities of Roman urban planning, balancing the need for housing with the realities of space and resources. This dynamic contributed not only to the physical landscape, but also to the everyday experiences of those who called these tenements home. Dimensions varied significantly among the insulae, reflecting the needs and resources of their inhabitants. Most structures reached heights of 4 to 6 stories, though some ambitious constructions towered above, pushing the boundaries of engineering at the time. These towering edifices offered a solution to the dense population, accommodating countless families in cramped quarters. The width of each insulae ranged from 10 to 20 meters, a calculation made to optimize space while adhering to the regulations imposed by city planners. Rooms within these buildings were modest, often measuring no more than 4 meters by 6 meters. Shared facilities such as kitchens and latrines were positioned strategically to serve multiple households, reinforcing a communal lifestyle. Access to sunlight and airflow was limited, particularly in the lower levels where smoke from cooking fires lingered, influencing the quality of life within these confines. Variations in facade design illustrated the socio-economic status of the occupants. Wealthier residents often enjoyed better amenities, while those of lower standing faced a higher density of habitation. Architectural styles ranged from simple brick and mortar to more elaborate decorative elements, signifying both craftsmanship and the economic prowess of their builders. Such distinctions painted a vivid picture of life in this region, revealing the stark contrasts within the urban fabric of ancient Rome. Residential layouts within the Insulae varied significantly, providing insight into the living conditions of their inhabitants. Typically, these structures consisted of multiple floors, with the wealthier residents occupying the lower levels, where amenities were more accessible. It was common for the upper floors to lack basic facilities such as running water or adequate sanitation. This stratification influenced the daily experiences of the residents, as the proximity to essential resources dictated a resident's comfort and lifestyle. Rooms within these tenement blocks were often small and sparsely furnished, with some families sharing single-room accommodations. Privacy was limited, as walls frequently served as partitions between different households. Basic necessities such as cooking areas and sleeping quarters were crammed into these confined spaces, leading to a communal atmosphere that fostered both social interaction and tension. Amenities varied widely. Wealthier insulae might include small courtyards or communal spaces, while the less affluent structures often lacked any shared facilities. The absence of proper sanitation was a pressing concern, with waste disposal systems being rudimentary at best. Despite these challenges, the resilience of the residents shone through as they adapted to their circumstances, finding ways to coexist within the constraints of their environment. Such arrangements reflect the complexities of urban life and the socio-economic realities faced by the inhabitants of ancient Rome. Building regulations emerged in response to the challenges presented by Insulae. These laws were necessary to address structural integrity, fire safety, and the overall well-being of residents. The height limits imposed on these ancient tenements reflected an understanding of the risks associated with urban density. As populations swelled, the need for regulation became paramount, guiding the construction practices that shaped this region. Initial regulations were concerned primarily with preventing the overcrowding of living spaces. The introduction of minimum requirements for light and ventilation indicated a shift towards recognizing the importance of health and comfort. Layers of legislation evolved, outlining specifics such as material use and the maximum number of floors permitted. Such measures aimed to ensure that insulae were not only habitable but also resilient against the elements. The implementation of these laws varied across different periods, reflecting the shifting priorities of governing bodies. Enforcement was often inconsistent, leading to a patchwork of compliance that left many structures vulnerable. These evolving regulations revealed a growing awareness of the interconnectedness of architecture and social conditions. As insulae grew taller and more complex, the need for oversight became increasingly critical. This evolution of building regulations underscores a recognition of the responsibility that urban environments hold for their inhabitants, shaping the very fabric of daily life in ancient Rome. The influence of wealthy patricians on insulae development manifested through both architectural choices and socio-economic structures. Elevated by their resources, these elite individuals often sought to maximize profit by constructing taller and denser buildings. This trend resulted in a stark contrast between the opulence of their domus and the cramped conditions faced by the lower classes inhabiting these tenements. They constructed multi-storied complexes, often prioritizing rental income over the well-being of the residents. Patricians also dictated the design and arrangement of the insulae, imposing specific aesthetics that reflected their status. Ornate facades and decorative elements became prevalent, even as the living spaces within remained minimal and utilitarian. These visual distinctions reinforced social hierarchies, with the affluent residing in the uppermost levels, enjoying better views and fresher air, while the lower echelons faced the challenges of crowded conditions below. The economic dynamics further shaped these environments. Insulae often served as collateral for loans, turning the fates of builders and tenants. As such, the livelihoods of many depended on the willingness of patricians to invest in their living conditions, creating a precarious balance of power. This interplay of wealth, architecture, and societal structure exemplified the complexities of urban life, an intricate relationship where prosperity and hardship coexisted. Social interactions within the insulae fostered a unique community life, characterized by close-knit relationships among diverse residents. The vertical nature of these ancient tenement blocks facilitated encounters among individuals from various backgrounds, forming a mosaic of cultures. It was not uncommon for families to share communal spaces, such as courtyards, where daily activities unfolded in plain view. These areas served as the heart of neighborhood dynamics, allowing for the exchange of news, goods, and support. Neighbors often relied on one another for assistance, pooling resources to navigate the challenges of urban existence. Informal networks emerged, providing a sense of security and belonging amidst the uncertainties of city life. Markets and trade flourished nearby, creating bustling hubs where interactions thrived. Local artisans and merchants contributed to the economy, ensuring that essential goods remained accessible. Cultural practices and traditions were shared and celebrated, enriching the fabric of community life. Festivities marked the calendar, drawing residents together and fostering unity. Conflicts inevitably arose within such close quarters, yet they often resolved through mediation among neighbors, reinforcing social bonds. This environment cultivated a resilience that characterized the spirit of the inhabitants as they navigated the complexities of life within the towering shadows of the insulae, forever shaped by their intertwined experiences. Urbanization significantly influenced insulae design and functionality, transforming these structures into multi-layered ecosystems. The growing population necessitated the development of vertical living spaces, prompting architects to design increasingly complex layouts. Elevated platforms emerged, featuring a network of interconnected rooms that maximized occupancy while minimizing the land footprint. This region became a testament to ingenuity, with narrow alleyways threading through dense clusters of buildings, creating a sense of intimacy amid the bustling activity. The need for communal spaces also arose, leading to the inclusion of shared amenities such as baths and shops within the confines of the insulae. These features fostered social interaction and commerce, intertwining daily life with the architectural landscape. The presence of small balconies added a touch of individuality to otherwise uniform facades, allowing residents to engage with their surroundings more directly, despite limited personal space. Over time, structural materials adapted to urban pressures, with brick and concrete replacing earlier, more fragile components. This shift not only improved durability, but also reflected emerging architectural trends. The increasing complexity of insula did not come without challenges. Overcrowding and inadequate sanitation became prevalent issues, impacting the health and quality of life for many. These urban dynamics shaped a distinctive character where the architectural evolution mirrored the socio-economic realities of life within the ancient city. The insulae and domus serve as two contrasting embodiments of Roman residential architecture. The insulae, often reaching 5 or 6 stories, housed the majority of the urban populace, forming dense blocks that filled the cityscape. Constructed primarily from brick and concrete, these multi-family units exhibited a utilitarian design, accommodating numerous families within limited space. Their interiors, often cramped and lacking in basic amenities, reflected the economic struggles faced by their inhabitants. In stark contrast, the domus represented the elite segment of society, typically single-story structures. They featured a central atrium that served as a focal point for both light and social gatherings. The materials used in constructing these homes, such as marble and frescoes, highlighted the wealth and status of their owners. Spaciousness characterized the design, allowing for private courtyards and dedicated rooms for various functions, including dining and entertaining. The disparity between these housing types illustrates not only architectural preferences, but also the broader social stratification present in ancient Rome. Insulae offered a practical solution for the urban poor, while the domus provided a glimpse into the aspirations and lifestyles of the wealthy elite. This dichotomy reveals the layers of complexity within Roman society, where physical structures reflect the values and priorities of their occupants. The insulae served as vital solutions to the challenges presented by significant population growth in ancient Rome. As the city's populace expanded, traditional housing options could not accommodate the increasing number of residents. Rising demand necessitated innovative architectural responses, leading to the construction of these multi-storied tenements. Typically made from brick and concrete, these structures rose several stories high, often housing numerous families within their walls. The design maximized limited urban space, allowing for the accommodation of diverse social classes, from affluent merchants to lower-income laborers. The insulae featured essential amenities, including shared kitchens and latrines, which facilitated communal living. Living conditions varied significantly, with the upper floors often reserved for those of higher status, while the lower levels housed the economically disadvantaged. This stratification led to a microcosm of Roman society, with a blend of social interactions and cultures emerging within these confined spaces. Structural integrity posed challenges, as many buildings were constructed hastily and without stringent regulations. The risk of fire and collapse became prevalent issues, prompting discussions about urban safety. Despite these hazards, the insulae represented an essential response to the pressing needs of an ever-growing metropolis, showcasing the ingenuity of Roman engineering amid the realities of urban density. The legacy of these tenements continues to influence contemporary urban planning discussions. Fire hazards and construction risks were inherent aspects of insulae living. These structures, often constructed from wood and other flammable materials, posed significant dangers to their inhabitants. In densely populated areas, the close proximity of these buildings amplified the risk of fire spreading rapidly from one unit to another. The narrow streets that encircled these tenement blocks became conduits for flames, transforming a minor incident into a widespread disaster. The lack of effective fire safety measures further compounded these risks. Many insulae featured poorly maintained exits and inadequate access for emergency services. The reliance on makeshift modifications to accommodate growing families often compromised structural integrity. Roof gardens and additional stories were common, increasing both the risk of collapse and the potential for fire, as residents often used open flames for cooking and heating. Brucheth Masaisi was virtually non-existent, allowing amateur construction practices to flourish. This environment fostered a culture of neglect, as landlords prioritized profit over tenant safety. When disasters occurred, casualties mounted, prompting calls for reform. Yet, the cycle of risk continued, shaped by economic pressures, and a persistent struggle for adequate housing. Today, the influence of these ancient tenements remains evident. Urban planners examine historical fire hazards, seeking solutions that balance density with safety in contemporary architectural designs. Lessons learned from Insulae inform modern strategies to mitigate risks, ensuring a more secure living space for future generations. Water supply and sanitation in Insulae presented significant challenges, intricately tied to the demands of urban life. This infrastructure relied on aqueducts that transported fresh water from distant sources. The internal plumbing of Insulae varied widely. Many structures lacked adequate sanitation facilities, compelling inhabitants to rely on shared latrines often located in courtyards. Such communal arrangements frequently led to unsanitary conditions, exacerbating public health issues. The absence of proper waste disposal systems resulted in the contamination of water sources, contributing to the spread of diseases within the community. Despite these challenges, some Insulae incorporated rudimentary sewage systems, channeling waste away from living spaces. These early attempts at sanitation reflected a growing awareness of hygiene and public health. Efforts to maintain cleanliness were essential for sustaining urban populations, influencing the development of later sanitation reforms. The balance between population growth and infrastructure development remained delicate. In an ever-expanding Rome, the complexities of water supply and sanitation highlighted the need for innovative solutions to support thriving urban environments. The insulae served not only as living spaces but also as vital economic centers within the urban landscape. Ground floors of these structures frequently hosted shops, bakeries, and artisan workshops, creating a vibrant marketplace that catered to the daily needs of residents. These establishments provided essential goods and services, thus fostering a sense of community as neighbors interacted in their shared spaces. Craftsmen occupied the lower levels, dedicating their skills to various trades. Potters, blacksmiths, and weavers contributed to the local economy, producing items that ranged from everyday utensils to intricate textiles. This proximity of production and consumption enhanced the efficiency of trade, allowing residents to access goods with minimal effort. Upper levels of the insulae housed families, where the sounds of daily life melded with the hustle of commerce below. This arrangement not only maximized the use of limited urban space, but also created a bustling atmosphere, rich with the scents and sounds of an active marketplace. Such integration of living and working spaces exemplified the adaptability of Roman society. It reflected a keen understanding of urban dynamics as residents navigated the demands of both domestic life and economic participation. These structures became emblematic of a community deeply interwoven with its commercial activities, supporting the growth of Rome amid its evolving urban fabric. Religious practices permeated daily life within the insulae, with shrines and temples providing spiritual sustenance to residents. These spaces, often modest in scale, served as focal points for worship and community gatherings, reflecting the intricate relationship between faith and daily existence. Within the confines of these tenement blocks, small altars adorned with offerings could be discovered, signifying personal devotion and connecting individuals to the divine. Stansenhu and Forku, though less common, punctuated the urban landscape, often located at strategic points to draw in worshippers from adjacent insula. Their architectural presence stood in contrast to the surrounding residential structures, marked by intricate columns and sacred iconography. This juxtaposition highlighted the importance of spiritual life as a cornerstone of social cohesion in an increasingly crowded environment. Rituals and festivals brought vibrancy to the community, as residents would gather to partake in various observances. The incorporation of religious practices into the fabric of everyday life facilitated a sense of belonging, reinforcing cultural identity amidst the challenges of urban living. The echoes of prayers and chants would fill the air, intertwining with the sounds of commerce and domesticity that characterized the insulae. Such spiritual expressions, embedded in the heart of Rome's bustling neighborhoods, encapsulated the duality of survival and reverence within this ancient civilization. The regulations governing urban living reflected the complexities of daily life within the insulae. Authorities established codes to ensure safety and order, addressing the precarious nature of these multi-storied structures. With wooden beams and brick walls, many buildings teetered on the edge of collapse, prompting oversight from local magistrates. Inspections became essential to maintain structural integrity, as the risk of fire and decay loomed large in the minds of residents. Landlords, often absent, relied on the enforcement of policies to manage their properties. Tenants occupied cramped units, sharing communal spaces that fostered both camaraderie and conflict. Legal frameworks emerged, stipulating rights and responsibilities, as disputes over rent, maintenance, and privacy arose. The presence of public baths and shared latrines highlighted the necessity for communal cooperation, yet also bred tensions among diverse inhabitants. Diverse inhabitants. Governance extended beyond physical structures, encompassing economic activities as well. Markets thrived at the foot of the insulae, and regulations dictated trade practices, ensuring that goods flowed steadily through these urban arteries. The intertwining of governance and daily life painted a complex portrait of Roman society, where survival hinged not only on physical space, but also on the socio-political structures that supported communal existence. This dynamic interplay shaped the identity of urban living in ancient Rome, revealing layers of human interaction and adaptation. The experience of poverty within the insulae was marked by cramped quarters and limited resources. These structures often rose several stories high, accommodating multiple families in a single building, each unit frequently devoid of basic amenities, reflected an existence characterized by close proximity to neighbors, leading to both communal support and tensions. The air was permeated with the mingled sense of cooking and refuse, as sanitation facilities were scarce, often relegated to shared communal latrines. Living conditions in the lower echelons were further compounded by the prevalence of fire hazards, as cooking was conducted over open flames in confined spaces. The lack of proper ventilation contributed to a stifling atmosphere, where smoke coiled through narrow stairwells and hallways. Natural light struggled to penetrate the depths of these tenement blocks, casting dim shadows that amplified the sense of confinement. Economic disparity manifested visibly, with the wealthier citizens residing in more spacious domus, while the lower classes navigated the challenges of maintaining their livelihoods amidst these precarious living conditions. An ongoing struggle for basic necessities, such as food and clean water, highlighted societal divides. Yet, within these confines, a resilience emerged. Neighbors often banded together, sharing resources and fostering a sense of community amidst adversity. This shared existence underscored the complex social fabric of ancient Rome. Tenants within the insulae often faced a precarious existence, reliant upon the decisions of property owners for their stability. The relationship between these two groups was often transactional, yet it carried deeper implications. Owners, seeking to maximize profit, frequently imposed high rents, which could push tenants into difficult situations, forcing them to share limited space with others. This necessity for communal living fostered a unique interdependence where social ties became essential for survival amidst economic pressures. The architecture of these tenement blocks reflected this dynamic. Multiple levels housed various families, each vying for privacy while simultaneously enduring the realities of close quarters. Shared entrances and communal courtyards became focal points for interaction, where opportunities for socialization often eclipsed the challenges of living in such confined spaces. The inadequacies of building materials further complicated these relationships. Structural issues, such as crumbling walls and inadequate drainage, often created discord between tenants and owners. Tenants would petition for repairs, while owners would frequently hesitate, prioritizing financial gain over the welfare of their occupants. In this environment, informal networks emerged, allowing tenants to collectively address grievances and advocate for better living conditions. This cooperative spirit, born from necessity, shaped the occupancy patterns and influenced the longevity of these ancient structures, embedding resilience within the very fabric of urban life. The presence of women within these insulae played a significant role in the socio-economic landscape of ancient Rome, occupying various positions within the household and community. They contributed to the sustenance of daily life. Some women engaged in trade, operating small businesses from their homes, while others supported their families through domestic tasks. This involvement not only provided economic stability, but also elevated their status, albeit within the limitations imposed by a patriarchal society. These structures housed individuals from diverse social strata, yet women often found ways to assert their influence. Many participated in local markets, selling goods ranging from textiles to food items, creating a vital link between the communal economy and the insulae. Their entrepreneurial endeavors allowed them to navigate the complexities of urban life, providing not only for their families but also contributing to the overall economic fabric of their neighborhoods. In communal spaces, women gathered, exchanging information and goods, fostering a sense of solidarity. These interactions reinforced social bonds, revealing an intricate network that supported both resilience and continuity in the face of economic challenges. The role of women in this environment was multifaceted, embodying both the struggles and strengths inherent in urban living. Their contributions, often overlooked, were integral to the intricate workings of these ancient tenements, shaping the dynamics of community life. Health and hygiene within these structures were influenced by numerous factors, complicating daily existence. Cramped living conditions contributed to the spread of disease, with multiple families sharing a single dwelling. Sanitation facilities were often inadequate, leading to unsanitary environments. The lack of proper waste disposal systems resulted in refuse accumulating in narrow alleyways, attracting pests and exacerbating public health issues. Water supply was another critical concern. Many insulae relied on public fountains or wells, which were not always conveniently located. Residents often faced long waits to access clean water, compounding the challenges of maintaining hygiene standards. These difficulties were particularly pronounced during the warmer months, when the heat intensified the smells and conditions of overcrowded spaces. Respiratory ailments were common, exacerbated by the close quarters and poor ventilation. The burning of wood and other fuels for cooking and heating further polluted the already stale air within these tenements. Residents had to navigate a delicate balance between warmth and air quality, often sacrificing their health for comfort. Despite these harsh realities, Community bonds flourished. Neighbors relied on one another for support, sharing resources and information to combat the challenges posed by their environment. This resilience created a unique social fabric, allowing inhabitants to endure the various hardships inherent to life in the insulae. The insulae often served as a refuge during periods of crisis, providing shelter for those affected by economic downturns and natural disasters. Constructed from locally sourced materials, these tenement blocks stood resilient against the elements, their thick walls absorbing the impacts of time. Within their confines, families sought solace amidst uncertainty, drawing strength from the close-knit communities that formed in their shadow. In the face of adversity, these structures facilitated the sharing of resources and knowledge. Neighbors often relied on one another, pooling their limited means to survive. The communal spaces within the insulae became vital, serving as gathering points for discussions, trading, and support. Such interactions forged bonds that transcended social stratification, allowing diverse groups to navigate the challenges of their environment together. The architecture of the insulae also played a significant role in their inhabitants' resilience. Vertical living arrangements maximized space, while shared amenities encouraged cooperation. Access to shared water sources and communal ovens fostered a sense of unity, even amidst crowded conditions. In times of crisis, the insulae transformed from mere housing into sanctuaries, where the human spirit endured through collaboration and mutual aid. This dynamic underscores the importance of social cohesion in overcoming adversity, revealing the strength found in communal living within the ancient cityscape. The artistic representation of insulae offers a glimpse into the daily lives of those who inhabited these structures. Literature from the ancient world frequently alludes to the experiences of residents, capturing the nuances of life within these tenement blocks. Poets and playwrights depicted the intricacies of communal existence, portraying characters who navigated the challenges of limited space and resources. These narratives often highlight the resilience required to thrive in such an environment, reflecting a profound connection to the lived experience. Visual arts, too, provide valuable insight. Frescoes and mosaics unearthed from various archaeological sites reveal scenes of daily interactions, market activities, and domestic life. These works capture the vibrant energy of bustling neighborhoods, illustrating the cultural exchanges that flourished in the shadows of towering insulae. The careful attention to detail in these pieces speaks to the importance of community, as well as the social dynamics that governed interactions among residents. Architectural studies further illuminate the significance of insulae, emphasizing their role in urban planning. The layout of these buildings often facilitated social gatherings and exchanges, which were crucial for maintaining community bonds. This interconnectedness not only shaped the physical landscape, but also fostered a sense of identity among inhabitants, deeply rooted in the fabric of Rome's enduring history. The daily rhythm within these towering structures unfolded with purpose. Residents rose with the sun, their routines influenced by the bustling marketplace below. This region, bustling with merchants and artisans, served as a backdrop to morning rituals, where aromas of fresh bread and spices mingled in the air. The narrow streets echoed with the sounds of vendors calling out, inviting the inhabitants to partake in the day's offerings. Climbing the stairs of the insulae, one could often encounter neighbors engaged in lively conversation. Shared walls contained whispers, laughter, and the occasional dispute, illustrating the close-knit nature of communal living. The layout of individual apartments, often cramped and sparsely furnished, fostered a sense of togetherness. Even amidst the challenges of daily life, midday brought opportunities for relaxation and socialization. Residents gathered in small courtyards, exchanging news and stories. Children played among the shadows, their laughter blending with the distant sounds of industry. As the sun began to set, the warm glow illuminated the worn stone facades, casting long shadows that hinted at the lives lived within. Evenings were often marked by communal meals, where families shared food in a celebration of kinship. Conversations flowed as the stars emerged, connecting each individual to the vastness beyond, a reminder of the enduring legacy of their existence in a city steeped in history. The Funsputaings history, a familientai, Fikimistelis Pridwara Frisian and Gitu Shamais here. These insular, towering structures of brick and concrete influenced the fabric of Roman culture and identity. Within their walls, a diverse population inhabited myriad social strata, from the affluent to the impoverished. The architectural design, often characterized by cramped living conditions, fostered a sense of community, compelling residents to forge connections amidst shared challenges. This phenomenon contributed to a unique cultural identity, where communal living became a defining aspect of urban existence. The insula also served as a backdrop for the vibrant tapestry of daily life. Markets thrived at their bases, offering goods from distant lands, while artisans and tradespeople filled the streets with the sounds of craftsmanship. Festivals and gatherings transformed these residential blocks into bustling hubs of activity, reinforcing social bonds and cultural traditions. In this environment, public discourse flourished, blending political discussions with artistic expression. Cultural norms and practices emerged from these interactions, leading to the development of distinct identities within the greater Roman ethos. The insulae became symbolic representations of resilience and adaptability, reflecting the dynamic nature of urban life. They housed not just families but also aspirations, dreams, and the everyday realities of a civilization that thrived amidst change. Urban ecology within the confines of these insulae reveals a dynamic interplay between human habitation and the natural environment. This region, marked by densely packed tenement blocks, created microclimates that significantly influenced local weather patterns. The heat generated by countless inhabitants and their activities contributed to urban heat islands, where temperatures remained elevated compared to surrounding areas. This phenomenon altered precipitation patterns, leading to localized rainfall variations. Vegetation within and around the insulae adapted to these unique conditions. Rooftop gardens and small courtyards served as vital green spaces, offering residents a connection to nature amidst the urban sprawl. These areas provided essential habitats for various species, including birds and insects, which thrived in the nooks and crannies of the ancient stone structures. The biodiversity fostered by this environment became an integral part of the urban landscape. Waste management practices in these tenements also played a role in shaping the ecological framework. Organic materials decomposed in alleys and streets, enriching the soil and promoting the growth of hardy plants. The result was a complex relationship between human activity and the environment, where the insulae functioned as both shelter and catalyst for ecological resilience. In this intricate setting, the legacy of ancient urban life continues to resonate, offering insights into sustainable practices that modern cities can learn from. Preservation efforts have become integral to understanding these ancient tenement blocks. Archaeological discoveries reveal the architectural ingenuity that characterized the insulae, showcasing multi-storied structures equipped with a range of amenities. Remnants of terracotta pipes and evidence of sophisticated drainage systems highlight a commitment to hygiene and water management. long before modern innovations. Excavations within this region have unearthed artifacts such as pottery, glassware, and remnants of daily life, providing a glimpse into the socio-economic dynamics of ancient inhabitants. These findings suggest a vibrant community where craftsmanship and trade flourished. The layout of insulae, often organized around communal courtyards, indicates a shared social fabric that fostered interactions among residents. Ongoing research emphasizes the need for conservation, as many insulae face threats from urban development and environmental degradation. Preservation initiatives prioritize structural stabilization and the careful documentation of each site. Techniques such as photogrammetry allow for detailed three-dimensional records, ensuring that future generations can study these historical edifices. Such efforts not only safeguard the physical remnants, but also aim to maintain the cultural significance attached to these structures. The continued exploration and preservation of insulae contribute to a broader understanding of urban development, resilience, and the intricate ties between humanity and its environment throughout history. Notable examples of insulae provide invaluable insights into the architectural ingenuity of ancient Rome. One of the most renowned, the Insula of Santo Mabono, showcases the complexity of urban life. Built in the late Republican period, it reveals a multifaceted structure consisting of multiple floors and various commercial spaces at ground level, indicating a vibrant marketplace bustling with activity. Another significant site, the Insula dei Ventadiu, illustrates the evolution of residential design with a unique combination of living quarters and shops. This insula highlights the symbiotic relationship between domestic life and commerce. The remnants of painted frescoes suggest a rich cultural backdrop, offering a glimpse into the daily lives of its inhabitants. These examples, along with others like the Insula of the Ara Coeli, underscore the adaptive strategies employed by Romans in response to the challenges of dense urban living. The layout of these structures, often characterized by narrow corridors and shared amenities, reflects the communal nature of Roman society. In the heart of these tenement blocks, echoes of social interaction and economic exchange linger, illustrating a world where space was both a commodity and a refuge. Each insula stands as a testament to the resilience and innovation of those who inhabited this sprawling metropolis. The lessons drawn from their design continue to inform modern urban planning and architecture. Many factors contributed to the decline of insulae, transforming vibrant living spaces into shadows of their former selves. Structural integrity became a pressing issue as materials aged and maintenance lapsed. With time, the once sturdy walls succumbed to the relentless forces of weathering, erosion, and the stresses of urban living. This deterioration was exacerbated by the overcrowded conditions within these tenement blocks, where families often occupied cramped quarters. Economic shifts further intensified the struggles faced by inhabitants. Fluctuating markets led to rising rents, creating an unsustainable environment for lower-income residents. As affluence grew in other areas of Rome, many sought refuge in the more opulent domus, leaving insula increasingly neglected. This abandonment fostered an atmosphere of decay, with many structures becoming uninhabitable. Social factors also played a pivotal role. As the population of Rome expanded, the demand for housing surged, prompting builders to prioritize quantity over quality. This led to hastily constructed insula, often lacking essential amenities. The urban landscape began to reflect a growing divide between economic classes, with the insula representing the struggles of those left behind. These structures have transcended their physical form, emerging in various facets of popular culture. Literary works frequently depict insula as symbols of urban life, capturing the essence of resilience amid adversity. Authors often create characters who inhabit these tenements, illustrating the challenges and triumphs faced by the lower strata of society. This representation provides a lens through which contemporary audiences can explore themes of inequality and survival. Visual media often portray insula as stark backdrops in films and television shows, emphasizing their role as both homes and historical artifacts. The architectural features of these buildings, crumbling facades, narrow alleyways, and crowded living conditions, serve to evoke a sense of time long past, inviting viewers to reflect on the complexities of urban existence. Documentaries delve into their historical context, offering insights into the socio-economic conditions that shaped life within their walls. Video games also incorporate elements inspired by the insula, allowing players to traverse reconstructed ancient streets. This interactive exploration fosters a deeper connection to Rome's history, prompting inquiries into the lives of its inhabitants. Through myriad forms of expression, these tenement blocks remain a poignant reminder of the human experience, bridging ancient and modern narratives while highlighting the enduring legacy of urban living. The legacy of insula offers critical insights into Roman urbanism, encapsulating the complexities of a society that thrived on innovation and adaptation. These structures, often rising several stories high, served as the backbone of densely populated neighborhoods, built primarily from brick and concrete. They showcased an architectural ingenuity that facilitated efficient use of space in a growing metropolis. Within these walls, the interplay of private and communal life flourished, reflecting the social dynamics of their inhabitants. Living conditions varied significantly, with the wealthier citizens occupying the lower levels, benefiting from access to light and fresh air, while the less affluent resided in the upper floors. This stratification reveals much about the socio-economic disparities that characterized ancient Rome. Shared amenities, such as wells and latrines, created a communal atmosphere, while also underscoring the challenges of urban living. The insula were not merely residential structures, they were microcosms of Roman society, illustrating the adaptability of its people in response to the demands of an expanding urban landscape. Over time, many insula fell into disrepair, their decline mirroring shifts in population and economy. Despite this, remnants remain, serving as silent witnesses to the daily lives of those who once inhabited this vibrant city. Each fragment a testament to the enduring nature of urban civilization. Insula in Rome offer a unique perspective when compared to tenements in other ancient cities. These structures were typically built with multiple stories, accommodating a growing population in a relatively small urban footprint. Each level housed families, artisans, and merchants, creating a bustling vertical community. In contrast, tenements found in cities such as Athens and Alexandria were often designed with a more horizontal layout, emphasizing the importance of shared public spaces rather than vertical living. The materials used in Rome's insula were primarily brick and concrete, a reflection of the city's advanced engineering techniques. These materials provided durability, which has allowed many ruins to endure through centuries of wear. In other ancient locales, such as the mud brick constructions common in Mesopotamia, the architecture lacked this longevity, resulting in fewer remains of such communal living arrangements. Social dynamics within these structures differed as well. Insula housed a diverse population, with varying economic backgrounds coexisting. In contrast, tenements in places like Carthage often reflected more rigid social stratifications, where wealthier families occupied the lower floors, while the less affluent lived in the upper levels, often with minimal amenities. This juxtaposition of architectural styles and social structures illustrates the varying responses of ancient civilizations to urbanization, revealing how geography and culture shaped their housing solutions. Rental markets within the insula reflected the economic realities of ancient Rome. These structures served not only as homes but also as essential components of a complex urban economy. The demand for affordable housing in densely populated areas heightened competition among landlords, influencing property values significantly. This region saw property owners adapting their units to accommodate the needs of diverse tenants, from laborers to wealthier citizens, seeking proximity to the city's bustling heart. Over time, the economic stratification became evident. Larger insula often boasted better amenities, attracting higher rents, while smaller, less well-maintained units catered to poorer families. The disparity in rental prices illuminated the social hierarchies that defined daily life. It was common for wealthier tenants to occupy the more desirable upper floors, where views and ventilation provided a degree of comfort not found below. Landlords strategically positioned their properties to maximize profit, frequently adjusting rental fees in response to fluctuations in demand. Economic downturns could lead to increased vacancies, compelling landlords to lower prices. This constant ebb and flow shaped the landscape of the insulae, reflecting broader economic trends and the resilience of the urban populace. Though these tenement blocks were often regarded as mere shelter, they represented the intricate interplay between housing, economy, and community in ancient Rome. The functioning of insulae extended into the broader framework of the slave economy in ancient Rome. Many of the residents, comprising a diverse demographic, relied heavily on enslaved individuals for various tasks within these structures. Laborers, artisans, and domestic slaves contributed to the economic vitality of these tenements, creating an environment of dependence and exploitation. Enslaved people occupied a crucial role in maintaining the day-to-day operations of insulae, performing menial tasks such as cleaning, cooking, and maintaining the physical integrity of the buildings. Their presence enabled wealthier inhabitants to pursue higher status occupations and engage in leisure activities, reflecting a social hierarchy entrenched within these urban environments. These blocks often housed multiple families, with cramped living conditions fostering a community reliant on the labor of enslaved individuals. The value of these individuals was dictated by the fluctuating demands of the market, driving a relentless cycle of buying and selling. The architectural design of the insulae, with multiple stories and narrow corridors, amplified the reliance on enslaved labor. As space was at a premium, this urban landscape exemplified the complex interdependencies of Roman life, illustrating how the slave economy shaped not only the structures themselves, but also the very fabric of societal interactions within them. Migration patterns in ancient Rome were significantly influenced by the presence of insulae, which served as both shelter and community for diverse groups. These tenement blocks attracted individuals from various regions, drawn by the promise of economic opportunity and urban life. Within these structures, a mosaic of cultures emerged diverse groups at Tenement, as newcomers sought to establish their place in the bustling metropolis. The insulae facilitated this integration, providing not only housing but also a sense of belonging amidst the crowded streets. The architecture of these buildings contributed to their role as hubs of migration. Typically constructed with multiple stories, they accommodated a large number of residents, allowing for a dynamic exchange of ideas and traditions. This layout promoted social interactions among inhabitants, fostering connections that often transcended ethnic and cultural boundaries. As families settled into these urban environments, they brought with them their customs, languages, and skills, enriching the cultural landscape. The insulae also reflected the economic realities of urban migration. Over time, the demand for affordable housing led to the proliferation of these structures, shaping the demographics of the city. They became synonymous with the aspirations of the lower classes, encapsulating the hopes and challenges faced by those who ventured into the heart of Rome. In this manner, Insulae not only provided shelter, but also played a pivotal role in the ever-evolving narrative of Roman immigration. The architectural framework of Insulae reveals a blend of practicality and innovation, reflecting the complexities of urban life in ancient Rome. These structures, often reaching heights of 5 or 6 stories, utilized locally sourced materials such as tuff and brick. The widespread use of concrete allowed for greater stability and more ambitious designs, transforming the skyline of the city. This region became a showcase of engineering ingenuity, with balconies and common areas that fostered a sense of community among residents. Distinct regional styles emerged over time, influenced by the social dynamics and economic conditions of the period. Early insulae featured simple layouts, with small layouts, cramped apartments that lacked basic amenities. As demand for housing surged, architects adapted their designs, incorporating larger windows and communal spaces. This shift reflected not only the growing population, but also a desire for improved living conditions. The introduction of shops on the ground floors further exemplified the integration of commercial and residential spaces, blurring the lines between home and marketplace. Innovations in ventilation and sanitation emerged as well, addressing the challenges posed by densely populated living environments. These advancements contributed to the gradual evolution of urban infrastructure, laying the groundwork for future architectural developments. The insulae stand as silent witnesses to the dynamic interplay of culture, economy, and urbanization that characterized ancient Rome. The relationship between insulae and public spaces reveals the complexities of urban life in ancient Rome. These tenement blocks were often situated in close proximity to forums and parks, integral to the daily routines of their inhabitants. Public spaces served not only as areas for commerce but also as venues for social interaction and civic engagement. The layout of the city dictated that insulae would rise around these communal hubs, fostering a sense of community among residents. In this region, forums acted as the heart of political and economic activity. They were bustling with merchants, officials, and citizens, creating a vibrant atmosphere that contrasted with the confined living conditions of the insula. The proximity ensured that those residing in these structures could participate in the life of the city without the need for extensive travel. Meanwhile, parks provided essential green spaces for relaxation and leisure, offering a respite from the crowded streets. These public areas facilitated gatherings, discussions, and the sharing of ideas. The social fabric of Rome was partially woven through interactions that occurred within these spaces. Insulae, while primarily designed for housing, contributed to the larger narrative of urban development, influencing how the population engaged with their environment and each other amid the enduring legacy of public life. Trade and commerce thrived within the confines of these insulae, shaping the everyday lives of their inhabitants. The multi-story structures provided not only residences but also spaces for shops and workshops, fostering economic activity. Ground floors often transformed into bustling marketplaces, where merchants displayed goods and services, engaging both local residents and visitors alike. This accessibility triggered a vibrant exchange of commodities, from foodstuffs to crafted items, facilitating a dynamic local economy. Civilians relied heavily on these commercial hubs. Proximity to trade allowed for the swift acquisition of necessities, while also encouraging social interactions that strengthened community bonds. Artisans, tradespeople, and vendors populated the lower levels, creating an interconnected web of economic relationships. This interaction was essential for the sustenance of the urban populace, particularly in a city where resources had to be efficiently distributed. The Insulae also played a role in the wider economic framework of Rome. They integrated into regional and international trade networks, where goods flowed in and out, contributing to the empire's wealth. The architectural design of these tenements, with their dense configurations, maximized the use of land, enabling a thriving economy within limited space. This model served not only the immediate needs of the residents, but also supported the expansive ambitions of a growing urban center, reflecting the intricacies of Roman society. Urban expansion demanded innovative strategies, guiding the development of insulae, or apartment blocks, which offered solutions to housing shortages. These structures, often rising several stories, were meticulously designed to maximize space while accommodating diverse social strata. They housed both the affluent and the less fortunate, creating a layered urban density that defined daily life in Rome. Ventilation, light access, and structural integrity were essential considerations in the planning of insulae. Each unit was designed to promote some degree of comfort, although standards varied significantly from one block to another. The reliance on brick and concrete allowed for a relatively quick construction process, facilitating rapid growth in response to the influx of residents drawn by opportunities within the burgeoning metropolis. Streets were often narrow, winding through these towering edifices, fostering a sense of intimacy amid the vastness of the city. This layout encouraged a communal lifestyle, with shops and services integrated into the ground levels of insulae, serving the immediate population. Urban planners addressed the challenges posed by overcrowding through regulations on building heights and materials, striving to maintain structural safety. The intricacies of this urban fabric showcase the adaptability of Roman society, revealing how insulae became not just living spaces, but pivotal components in the growth narrative of an ancient city. Modern interpretations of insulae reflect a blend of historical reverence and contemporary innovation. Architectural firms worldwide draw inspiration from these ancient tenement blocks, exploring their potential in addressing current urban challenges. This region, once bustling with life, is now often reimagined as adaptive reuse projects, where the principles of sustainable living intersect with the echoes of the past. Contemporary reproductions of insulae often incorporate eco-friendly materials and advanced engineering techniques, aiming to encapsulate the essence of ancient resilience while meeting the demands of modern inhabitants. These structures prioritize communal spaces, reminiscent of the shared environments that characterized their predecessors. Such designs promote social interaction and a sense of belonging, echoing the original purpose of insulae as vibrant communities. Innovative housing solutions inspired by this historical architecture are emerging in densely populated cities. They serve as a reminder of the lessons learned from ancient urban living, where space was utilized efficiently and effectively. The balance between functionality and aesthetics remains a focal point, ensuring that these new constructions resonate with the surrounding landscape while honoring their historical legacy. As cities continue to evolve, the principles embedded in the design of Insulae offer valuable insights into sustainable urban development, shaping future living environments that aspire to be as resilient and adaptable as their ancient counterparts. Their presence significantly influenced the social fabric of ancient Rome, acting as both residences and communal spaces. The architectural structure provided a unique setting for the dissemination of ideas and beliefs. In these stacked tenements, diverse populations lived side by side, creating an environment conducive to the exchange of thoughts and cultural practices. This proximity allowed early Christian teachings to flourish amidst the complexities of urban life. Religious gatherings often took place in the shared courtyards and public spaces surrounding the insulae. The congregation of individuals from various backgrounds fostered discussions and the spread of Christian doctrine. It was within these walls that the first communities began to form, creating a network of support and shared faith that transcended social and economic boundaries. As Christianity gained traction, the insulae adapted to accommodate the growing number of believers. Makeshift meeting places emerged, often transforming common areas into spaces of worship. The evolving role of these structures mirrored the changing dynamics of the city, where faith intermingled with daily life. The insulae, thus a vortice, not only served as homes, but also became vital to the propagation of new religious beliefs, shaping the spiritual landscape of Rome as it transitioned from pagan traditions to a Christian society. This transformation of societal beliefs is mirrored in the architectural design and organization of the insulae. Characterized by their multi-storied structures, these living quarters accommodated various social classes, fostering a unique blend of interactions. The layout often reflected a hierarchy, with wealthier occupants residing in the upper levels, enjoying better views and improved amenities, while the lower floors housed the less affluent, frequently subject to the encroachment of noise and odors from the bustling streets below. Community dynamics flourished within these tenement blocks, where shared spaces served as forums for social interaction and exchange of ideas. Courtyards often acted as communal gathering points, allowing residents to forge relationships and reinforce social networks. Such environments facilitated the spread of emerging ethical values, as these interactions encouraged a sense of collective identity amid diverse backgrounds. The insulae also embodied the prevailing attitudes toward public health and urban living. Design limitations often led to overcrowding and insufficient sanitation, which in turn influenced societal views on responsibility and care for neighbors. The struggle for adequate living conditions illuminated the disparities within society, prompting discussions on social justice and welfare. Exemplifying a microcosm of Roman society, the insulae reflected not only the architectural ingenuity of the period, but also the evolving moral landscape as citizens navigated the complexities of communal life. Noise permeated daily life within these towering structures, a constant reminder of the densely packed existence experienced by their inhabitants. The sounds of merchants hawking their goods, children playing, and neighbors engaging in disputes reverberated through the narrow corridors. This auditory landscape created an environment where personal moments were often interrupted by the collective activity of the community. Crowding was an inherent aspect of insular living, with families crammed into small, multi-storied units. Residents shared kitchens and latrines, leading to a lack of privacy that many found difficult to endure. As multiple households coexisted in such tight quarters, the strain on personal space often resulted in tensions among residents. These communal areas, intended for convenience, became sites of contention, reflecting the struggles inherent in shared living. Privacy, an elusive commodity in this setting, was negotiated daily. Individuals carved out small sanctuaries within their homes, using screens or curtains to delineate personal spaces. Yet, the shared walls often carried whispers of arguments, laughter, and sorrow, reminding each resident of their proximity to one another. The Insulae, while an architectural innovation, revealed the complexities of urban life, where intimacy and isolation coexisted, shaping the experience of those who called these structures home. Food served as a cornerstone of daily life within the Insulae, playing a vital role in the social fabric of these urban structures. It acted as a medium for connection among residents, offering moments of communal gathering in shared courtyards and communal kitchens. The aroma of bread baking and stews simmering filled the air, inviting interaction and fostering relationships. Meals often transcended mere sustenance, becoming an expression of identity for families navigating the complexities of city living. Street vendors contributed to this vibrant culinary landscape, their carts brimming with fresh produce, cured meats, and local delicacies. These foods, often prepared with simple ingredients, provided nourishment while reflecting the diversity of the Roman populace. The act of dining was not confined to private spaces. It spilled into public areas, where friends and neighbors shared food and stories, reinforcing bonds in an otherwise bustling and chaotic environment. Celebrations and religious observances also centered around food, with communal feasts marking important occasions. These gatherings served to strengthen ties among residents, linking them through shared traditions and rituals. In the Insulae, food was more than a necessity. It was a cultural touchstone, weaving together the lives of those dwelling within these ancient tenement blocks, embodying both resilience and community in an ever-evolving urban landscape. Artisans and craftsmen thrived within the confines of the Insulae, their work reflecting not only the daily lives of residents, but also the broader cultural currents of their era. The narrow streets echoed with the sounds of chiseling and painting, as local talent transformed humble materials into intricate designs. This region became a breeding ground for artistic movements, where creativity flourished alongside the practical demands of urban living. Murals adorned the walls, vibrant colors telling stories of mythology and daily activities, while pottery showcased the skills of those who shaped clay into functional beauty. Each piece bore the fingerprints of its creator, an imprint of the communal spirit that permeated the air. It served as a reminder of the shared experiences and aspirations of the people who inhabited these densely packed structures. Craftsmanship extended beyond mere aesthetics. It was a means of survival, a way for families to sustain themselves amid the challenges of urban existence. Workshops bustled with activity, producing goods that reflected both local traditions and the influences of neighboring cultures. The interplay between functionality and artistic expression created a unique visual landscape where every corner of the Insulae became a canvas. These creations not only filled the spaces within, but also linked the inhabitants to a rich tapestry of history, shaping the identity of a community living under the weight of antiquity. The evolution of Insulae designs reflected the pressing urban needs of a growing population. These structures adapted over time, accommodating increased density while maintaining functionality. Initially modest in scale, early Insulae featured simple layouts with limited amenities. As the population surged, the necessity for higher buildings became apparent. Multi-story designs emerged, providing more living units within the confines of a shrinking city. Architects began implementing techniques to maximize space and efficiency. The introduction of shared facilities, such as communal kitchens and latrines, became commonplace. This adaptation fostered a sense of communal living as residents navigated the challenges of urban life together. Structural innovations, including the use of concrete and brick, enhanced durability, allowing for taller constructions that defied the limitations of earlier materials. The interplay between residential needs and economic factors influenced their evolution. The demand for affordable housing prompted landlords to create smaller, less desirable units in the upper floors, often lacking basic services. Despite these challenges, Insulae continued to serve as vital components of urban infrastructure, facilitating the coexistence of diverse socio-economic groups. Observations of these structures reveal their significance not only as physical spaces but also as reflections of societal dynamics. The insulae stand as a testament to human resilience, adapting to the ever-changing landscape of urban existence while preserving the echoes of an ancient civilization. Legends and tales surrounding the insula reveal a rich mythology that imbued these structures with a sense of identity. Each building, often seen as a home to countless families, became a canvas for stories passed down through generations. The narrow streets, cloaked in shadows, served as the backdrop for local folklore, where the spirits of ancestors were believed to linger. These entities were often invoked during communal gatherings, believed to offer protection and prosperity to the inhabitants. Within this region, certain insulae were rumored to be enchanted. Stories of hidden chambers and secret passages circulated among the residents, fostering an atmosphere of intrigue. This sense of mystery was complemented by the architecture itself, with its intricate designs and weathered facades speaking to a history of both decline and adaptation. The bustling marketplaces nearby served as a hub for exchanging not only goods but also stories, where merchants recounted tales of supernatural encounters and miraculous events. Festivals often celebrated these narratives, intertwining the daily lives of citizens with the mythic traditions of the past. Often the twilight hours, the insula cast long shadows, whispering the secrets of those who had lived within their walls. Such folklore became an enduring part of the cultural fabric, echoing the lives and beliefs of those who inhabited these once thriving urban landscapes. Educational opportunities within these structures were often limited, yet they played a crucial role in shaping the intellectual landscape of ancient Rome. The proximity to esteemed institutions and the bustling activity of the forum allowed residents to engage with scholars and attend public lectures. This interaction fostered a communal pursuit of knowledge, where informal gatherings often took precedence over formal education. Literacy rates varied, but many inhabitants understood the importance of reading and writing for social mobility. Local scribes provided essential services, assisting those who sought to navigate bureaucratic systems. For the children of these tenement blocks, informal education happened within close-knit family networks and communal spaces. Tutors occasionally visited to offer lessons, although such opportunities were rare and usually reserved for wealthier families. The presence of libraries in the vicinity served as a beacon for the curious. These establishments, filled with scrolls and manuscripts, provided access to a wealth of information. Enthusiastic learners often spent hours poring over texts, absorbing knowledge that transcended their immediate circumstances. Despite the constraints imposed by their living conditions, the determination of these residents to pursue education remained steadfast. It became an underlying thread in their quest for improvement. Knowledge was not merely a luxury but a tool for survival, bridging the gap between aspiration and reality in the heart of ancient Rome. Festivals and public celebrations served as vital lifelines within insulae communities, fostering social cohesion and a sense of belonging among residents. These events brought together diverse groups, transcending the boundaries typically imposed by class and wealth. Streets filled with laughter, voices blending into a rich soundscape, while decorations adorned the narrow passageways, transforming the urban environment into a vibrant spectacle. During these occasions, communal meals were shared, emphasizing the importance of hospitality and togetherness. Neighbors gathered, exchanging stories and strengthening bonds, while the aroma of food filled the air. Mingling with the scent of fresh flowers, local artisans showcased their crafts, contributing to a thriving marketplace atmosphere where creativity flourished. Religious observance punctuated the calendar, providing not only a spiritual dimension but also reinforcing community identity. Rituals, often involving processions and offerings, connected residents to their heritage and the divine. These ceremonies marked pivotal moments in the agricultural cycle, celebrating harvests and seasonal changes, thereby linking the inhabitants to the natural world surrounding them. Even as the physical structures of the insulae bore witness to wear and tear, the enduring nature of these celebrations reflected resilience. They stood as reminders of unity, blending the struggles of daily life with moments of joy, illuminating the profound human spirit that persisted amid the shadows of the ancient tenement blocks. Military presence significantly influenced the architectural and social dynamics of the insulae. These tenement blocks, often housing the lower classes, reflected the complexities of a society shaped by constant conflict and defense. Proximity to fortifications and barracks meant that many inhabitants were either directly or indirectly connected to military life. Soldiers, occupying the fringes of urban life, contributed to the local economy, fostering trade and providing a sense of security, albeit temporarily. The design of insulae was pragmatic, accommodating the needs of both the civilian population and those who served in the legions. Buildings were constructed with a focus on durability, capable of withstanding the occasional disturbances brought by military exercises. The layout often included communal spaces, where veterans and civilians alike could gather, sharing stories of valor and hardship. These interactions forged bonds that transcended social strata. In times of unrest, Insulae acted as shelters for families seeking refuge from skirmishes. The walls bore witness to whispered tales of courage, while the staircases echoed the hurried footsteps of those fleeing chaos. They provided not only shelter but also a sense of belonging amid turmoil. Community flourished within these structures, fostering connections among their inhabitants. Shared experiences, whether celebratory or challenging, created bonds that often transcended the limitations of physical space. Neighbors relied on one another in times of need, forming a support network that was vital for survival. This interconnectedness helped to mitigate feelings of isolation, offering a semblance of unity even amidst the crowded living conditions. The architecture of insulae, characterized by their height and density, influenced the psychological landscape of their residents. The close quarters could lead to a sense of confinement, with many individuals experiencing stress due to the lack of privacy. Inhabitants often navigated the delicate balance between communal living and the yearning for solitude. While shared walls resonated with the sounds of daily life, they also contained moments of quiet introspection, where thoughts could drift amid the cacophony of existence. Yet, isolation was an ever-present factor. For some, the bustling environment served as a reminder of their separateness, intensifying feelings of loneliness. In this context, the insulae became more than mere structures. They represented the duality of human experience. The vibrancy of community life coexisted with the stark reality of personal solitude, Encapsulating the complexities of urban existence in ancient Rome, the psychological impact of these tenements remains a profound aspect of their historical significance. The intricate social fabric woven within these structures reveals much about gender roles and family life in ancient Rome. Each floor of the Insulae served as a microcosm of societal norms, where familial arrangements adapted to the constraints of urban living. Shared spaces became hubs for interaction, reflecting the dynamics of kinship, economic necessity, and cultural expectations. Women occupied varied roles within these confines, often balancing domestic responsibilities with participation in local commerce. Their presence in markets and workshops was emblematic of a society where gender boundaries were fluid, yet still defined by prevailing patriarchal structures. Children, too, navigated this environment, their upbringing influenced by the close quarters of communal life. Elders often played pivotal roles, imparting wisdom and traditions amidst the bustling activity of the lower floors. The architecture itself, with its vertical stacking, mirrored the layers of hierarchy within these families. Relationships were often interdependent, as resources were pooled to ensure survival. Observation of the Insulae reveals patterns of resilience and adaptation as families negotiated their realities. The walls, once teeming with life, echo stories of cooperation and struggle. This urban living environment, with its complexities, serves as a valuable lens, providing insight into the evolving notions of gender, family, and societal roles in ancient Rome. Resilience characterized the lives of Insulae residents, who navigated the challenges of urban existence with remarkable adaptability. These structures, often rising several stories into the air, were frequently overcrowded and lacked basic amenities. Families and individuals devised coping mechanisms to manage the limited space and resources available to them. Shared kitchens and communal bathrooms became essential hubs of social interaction, fostering a sense of community amid the constraints of architecture. The diverse population within these tenement blocks contributed to a vibrant social fabric. Neighbors often relied on one another for support, sharing food, labor, and companionship. This interdependence blurred the boundaries between private and communal life, reinforcing the notion of collective survival in a bustling metropolis. Children played in the narrow alleys, their laughter mingling with the sounds of daily life, while adults engaged in trade and conversation, creating a lively marketplace atmosphere. Economic pressures motivated many to innovate. Craftsmanship flourished as residents transformed their living spaces into workshops, selling goods to their neighbors and contributing to the local economy. Such ingenuity not only alleviated financial burdens, but also cultivated a sense of pride and identity within these urban enclaves. The Insulae, marked by their resilience, reflected the tenacity of those who called them home, standing as a testament to the human spirit amidst adversity. Legal frameworks governed the daily lives within these insulae, shaping interactions and defining the rights and responsibilities of their inhabitants. Occupants often operated under a complex set of regulations, which determined everything from property rights to communal responsibilities. The intricacies of Roman law established clear delineations between tenants, landlords, and the surrounding community, fostering a unique urban culture. Tenants enjoyed certain protections, including the right to a safe living environment, while simultaneously bearing the obligation to maintain their residences in accordance with communal standards. This structure ensured a degree of order in densely populated areas where the potential for conflict was ever present. Disputes could arise over shared facilities, such as water sources and sanitation, necessitating a legal framework to address grievances. Landlords held their own set of responsibilities, often tasked with ensuring the structural integrity of the buildings. Regulations mandated that they provide adequate living conditions, a requirement reflecting the societal emphasis on public health and welfare. Breaches of these obligations could lead to legal consequences, reinforcing accountability within the urban fabric. Communal gatherings served as forums for negotiation and conflict resolution, illustrating the collaborative nature of urban life. Through these interactions, a sense of belonging emerged, deeply rooted in the laws that governed these ancient structures, transcending mere bricks and mortar to form a community identity. The evolution of urban living witnessed a gradual shift as societal needs transformed. In this region, the insulae began to reflect the changing dynamics of population density and economic stratification. These ancient tenement blocks, once bustling with the energy of communal life, faced increasing pressures from a growing populace and the demands of a shifting economy. The rise of new urban models marked a departure from the insulae's vertical living arrangements. The emergence of single-family dwellings became more prominent, signifying a desire for privacy and stability amidst the chaos of urban life. This transition was characterized by a preference for spacious courtyards and gardens, fostering a different kind of community interaction, one that leaned towards individualism rather than collective existence. During this period, infrastructure improvements, such as road expansions and aqueduct developments, facilitated greater mobility and access to resources. These changes influenced urban planning significantly, leading to a reorganization of residential layouts that prioritized accessibility and comfort. As the insulae gradually fell into disrepair, they became relics of a bygone era. The fading company of their former inhabitants left behind echoes of communal resilience, now overshadowed by the new urban paradigms that embraced a different vision of city life, where the notion of home began to take on new meanings. The legacy of insulae extends beyond their architectural significance, influencing urban sustainability in multifaceted ways. These ancient tenement blocks, constructed primarily from local materials, demonstrate an early understanding of resource utilization. Their design often incorporated features that maximized ventilation and natural light, reducing reliance on artificial energy sources. This approach fostered a more harmonious relationship between inhabitants and their environment. As urbanization progressed, the principles reflected in insulae became increasingly relevant. In densely populated areas, the preservation and adaptation of these structures can mitigate the environmental impact of new developments. The reuse of existing frameworks allows for a reduction in construction waste and lower emissions associated with building materials. The dense configuration of these blocks promotes walkability, minimizing the need for extensive transportation networks. Beyond their physical structure, insulae fostered social interactions that cultivated community resilience. This aspect of urban life is crucial in addressing contemporary challenges such as climate change and resource scarcity. By prioritizing communal spaces and shared facilities, these ancient designs encourage collaborative efforts in sustainability practices among residents. Incorporating lessons from the insulae into modern urban planning can lead to innovative strategies that honor historical context while addressing current sustainability goals. The integration of these principles may guide future developments toward a more balanced coexistence with the environment. The influence of Insulae on contemporary urban design theories is profound, shaping not only architectural styles, but also the very essence of urban living. These ancient tenement blocks provided a model for high-density habitation, accommodating a diverse population within constrained spaces. The verticality of these structures demonstrates an early understanding of maximizing limited land while promoting community interaction. The layout, often characterized by shared courtyards and communal areas, fosters social cohesion among residents. This concept resonates with modern approaches to urban planning, emphasizing the importance of public spaces in enhancing quality of life. The adaptability of Insulae allows for a variety of uses, from residential to commercial, reflecting the dynamic needs of urban dwellers. Examining the structural elements of Insulae reveals lessons in sustainability. Their thick walls and compact designs provided natural insulation, reducing reliance on external heating and cooling sources. Urban designers today are increasingly prioritizing energy efficiency, drawing inspiration from these ancient precedents. Additionally, Insulae offer insights into the complexities of urban density, the challenges faced by their inhabitants, including sanitation and access to light, inform current discussions on zoning and public health. This holistic view of urban living encourages a thoughtful integration of residential environments within the broader urban fabric, promoting resilience and adaptability for future generations. The preservation and restoration of these ancient structures pose significant challenges, reflecting the complexities of maintaining historical integrity while accommodating modern needs. Many Insulae, once bustling with life, now stand as remnants of a bygone era, their facades weathered and their interiors often compromised. Structural stability is a primary concern. The foundations of these tenement blocks were originally designed for a different time, requiring careful assessment and reinforcement to ensure safety for contemporary use. Techniques employed in restoration prioritize minimal intervention, enabling the preservation of original materials and architectural details. This approach includes the use of lime-based mortars, which allow for breathability while maintaining the aesthetic continuity of the surfaces. Advanced methods, such as three-dimensional scanning and digital modeling, assist in documenting the existing conditions and planning restoration efforts with precision. Archaeological research complements these techniques by uncovering the layers of history embedded within the walls. This knowledge informs restoration choices, ensuring that interventions respect the past while providing functional spaces for modern residents. Engagement with the local community also plays a vital role, as these ruins often hold significant cultural value and collective memory. Balancing conservation with contemporary urban life remains a delicate endeavor, requiring ongoing dialogue between preservationists, architects, and the public. Over time, the Insulae witnessed profound societal changes as the Roman Empire began its decline. These multi-storied tenement blocks, once bustling centers of activity, gradually transformed into reflections of the shifting dynamics of urban life. Economic instability and political turmoil led to a marked decrease in population density within these structures. As prosperity waned, the vibrant communities that once thrived within their walls began to dissolve, giving way to an atmosphere of neglect. With fewer inhabitants, many Insulae fell into disrepair, facades crumbled, and once vibrant markets became shadowy remnants of their former selves. The social stratification prevalent in earlier days became more pronounced, as wealthier citizens sought refuge in more spacious dwellings, leaving behind a demographic largely comprised of the impoverished. This shift underscored the growing divide within society, as the disparity between classes became starkly visible. Inhabitants of these tenements faced increasing hardships, struggling to maintain their livelihoods amid dwindling resources. Public services eroded, and the once thriving communal spirit dissipated. As the empire's infrastructure weakened, the insulae transformed from homes into symbols of decline. The remnants of these structures stand today as silent witnesses to an era marked by significant socio-economic transformations, encapsulating the complex narrative of a civilization in transition. Imperial policies significantly influenced the design and function of the insulae, reflecting the priorities of a growing urban population. These tenement blocks, constructed to accommodate the increasing influx of inhabitants in Rome, emerged as a response to the demands of a burgeoning metropolis. The structures typically featured multiple stories, enabling vertical living to maximize limited space, a necessity born from the city's expanding borders. Residents of these insulae experienced a range of conditions, from the modest to the deplorable. Basic amenities were often scarce, and crowded living quarters led to challenges in sanitation and safety. The imperial focus on urban density aimed to consolidate resources and labor, a strategy which brought both economic opportunity and social strain. This region bore witness to a stark contrast between the opulence of the elite and the hardships faced by the lower classes. Policies concerning zoning and construction dictated the architectural characteristics of these buildings. Regulations often emphasized the necessity for fire safety, given the inherently hazardous nature of wooden structures. Despite these guidelines, the risk of fire remained high, contributing to the continual cycle of destruction and reconstruction. The insulae thus symbolize not only the resilience of urban life, but also the complexities of governance within the vast expanse of the Roman Empire. They encapsulate a society grappling with growth, disparity, and the pressing need for reform. Urban policy in contemporary Rome is intricately shaped by the legacy of these structures. They stand as a reminder of the challenges inherent in accommodating a burgeoning population within limited space. The pressures of urbanization have necessitated a re-evaluation of housing regulations, as the insulae illuminate the consequences of neglecting infrastructure and social equity. These tenement blocks highlight the crucial balance between preservation and modernization. The adaptation of existing insulae for contemporary living reflects a broader trend towards sustainable urban development. Planners are increasingly aware that the lessons learned from past urban mistakes must inform future decisions. The current focus on integrating public amenities and green spaces into densely populated areas is a direct response to the shortcomings evident in these historic buildings. Public discourse often revolves around the necessity of affordable housing, echoing the sentiments of ancient residents who once inhabited cramped living conditions. Government initiatives now seek to address these concerns, proposing policies that aim to provide equitable access to housing. The insulae, therefore, serve not only as historical artifacts, but also as catalysts for change, urging policymakers to reconsider how urban environments can support diverse communities. This dialogue between the past and present continues to evolve, reflecting an ongoing commitment to improve urban life in Rome. Lessons drawn from these ancient structures resonate deeply within contemporary urban planning, Each insula embodies the principles of efficient space utilization, demonstrating how vertical living can accommodate numerous inhabitants while fostering community interaction. This model offers valuable insights into addressing current housing shortages in densely populated urban areas. Recent studies highlight a growing appreciation for mixed-use developments, reminiscent of the insulae's multifunctional nature. Retail spaces, residential units, and communal areas coexisted, creating vibrant neighborhoods that thrived on proximity and accessibility. Modern urban planners are increasingly recognizing the significance of integrating these elements, promoting cohesion and a sense of belonging among residents. Sustainability emerges as another critical aspect informed by this legacy. The materials and construction techniques of the Insulae reflect a time when resourcefulness was paramount. Contemporary architects are revisiting these methods, drawing inspiration from the past to create environmentally friendly structures that honor the principles of durability and minimalism. These ancient tenements also underscore the importance of public spaces. Community gathering areas within the Insulae encouraged social interaction, a vital component for fostering resilient urban communities today. Recognizing this, planners are reimagining urban landscapes to include parks and plazas, nurturing connections among diverse populations. This integration serves as a bridge linking historical wisdom with future possibilities, shaping the vibrant cities of tomorrow. The cultural memory of Insulae in Roman history reflects a complex interplay between urban life and architectural innovation. These ancient tenement blocks housed a diverse population, from the affluent to the impoverished, showcasing the stratified social structure of the city. Each insula, rising several stories high, contained numerous living spaces, often cramped and adorned with communal amenities. This vertical living arrangement reveals insights into the daily lives of Romans, where the boundaries of privacy and community often blurred. The architectural design of Insulae also highlights the ingenuity required to accommodate a growing urban populace. With limited land available, builders crafted multi-storied structures that maximized space while responding to the needs of a bustling city. This approach fostered a unique urban culture, influencing social interactions and communal activities. Artifacts found within these structures, such as pottery and frescoes, provide a glimpse into the aesthetic values and everyday practices of the inhabitants. The preservation of this cultural memory serves as a testament to resilience and adaptation. Ruins of Insulae stand as silent witnesses to the passage of time, their remnants echoing the stories of those who once thrived within their walls. As modern cities evolve, the lessons gleaned from Insulae's historical significance and architectural attributes remain relevant, guiding contemporary urban planning and social dynamics. Comparative studies reveal distinct characteristics between Insulae in the Western and Eastern Roman empires. In the West, Insulae tended to be constructed with a focus on utilitarian design, often rising several stories to accommodate the dense population of urban centers such as Rome and Ostia. These structures featured narrow corridors and shared facilities, fostering a communal living experience that reflected the social hierarchies of the time. They served as both homes and marketplaces, embodying the vibrant yet challenging lifestyle of the urban poor. In contrast, Eastern Insulae exhibited more varied architectural styles, influenced by local customs and climates. Cities like Antioch and Alexandria saw the integration of intricate mosaics and decorative elements, elevating the aesthetic appeal of these tenements. While they also housed many residents, their designs often catered to a wider socio-economic spectrum, resulting in a blend of living spaces that ranged from modest to more affluent. The differing approaches to urban livability in these two regions highlight the adaptability of Insulae in meeting the needs of their inhabitants. Such variations provide insight into the cultural exchanges and economic conditions that shaped the daily lives of people across the empire. These architectural forms continue to inform discussions on urban density and community engagement in modern contexts. Urban living has been profoundly influenced by the insulae, which served as both homes and social hubs for the populace of ancient Rome. Their multi-story structures housed a diverse array of residents, from wealthy merchants to lower-class laborers, reflecting a microcosm of society within confined spaces. This arrangement fostered interactions that shaped community dynamics, influencing how neighborhoods developed in subsequent eras. The legacy of these tenement blocks is evident in contemporary urban planning. Modern cities often grapple with similar challenges of space and community, seeking to balance density with livability. The insulae provide a historical reference point, illustrating how architecture can accommodate a large population while promoting social cohesion. Their design, emphasizing verticality and shared spaces, demonstrates the potential for integrating residential and commercial areas to create vibrant urban environments. Public spaces surrounding these structures often served as communal gathering points, further enhancing the sense of belonging among residents. This aspect continues to resonate today as urban designers prioritize the creation of accessible public areas that encourage interaction. The insulae's influence extends beyond mere aesthetics. They inspire a reconsideration of how urban spaces can be structured to foster community ties and resilience amidst the pressures of modern life. Their history offers insights into the complexities and potentials inherent in contemporary urban environments. Cultural touchstones like the insulae reveal the multifaceted nature of Roman society. These structures, often rising several stories, served as housing for the lower and middle classes, accommodating families within their compact confines. This architectural style reflects the social stratification and economic realities of ancient life. The presence of shops on the ground floor emphasized the blend of residential and commercial spaces, illustrating a community interconnected with daily trade and interaction. Architectural features such as courtyards and stairwells contributed to a communal atmosphere, fostering relationships among inhabitants. As these tenement blocks filled with people from diverse backgrounds, they became a microcosm of Roman society, showcasing the coexistence of various cultures and lifestyles. Inhabitants navigated the challenges of limited space, while also participating in the vibrant life of the city. Over time, the insulae faced numerous challenges, including structural instability and fire hazards. Yet their resilience speaks to the adaptive strategies of those who lived within their walls. They also serve as a reminder of Rome's vast urban landscape, where the built environment shaped everyday experiences. The evolution of these structures offers a lens through which to examine social and economic shifts, revealing the enduring legacy of urban living in a city that has continually transformed over the centuries. The influence of insulae extends beyond their physical presence, shaping the urban landscape and the societal framework within which they exist. These ancient tenements housed a diverse population, reflecting the complexities of Roman society. The architectural choices made within these structures catered to varying socioeconomic classes, demonstrating a nuanced approach to urban living. This region, characterized by its multi-storied buildings, facilitated communal interactions among residents, fostering a sense of shared experience by providing essential services and amenities at various levels. Insulae ensured accessibility for all inhabitants, thereby enhancing the urban experience. Urban life in Rome was intricately tied to these tenements, as they served as both homes and hubs of activity. The economic transactions and social interactions that occurred within their confines contributed to the vibrancy of the city's culture. The layout and design of Insulae also influenced subsequent urban planning, guiding future developments in cities around the world. In examining the legacy of Insulae, it becomes evident that their impact is far-reaching. They represent not merely a bygone architectural form, but a continuing influence on urban housing concepts. The lessons learned from these ancient structures contribute to contemporary discussions on urbanization, sustainability, and social equity, ensuring that their significance endures through the ages.